we're working on a partnership with a professor from UB Architecture to identify artifacts that could be salvaged, both on the exterior and then in the debris pile itself, to find a way to preserve these and keep them for future generations.
New here at 5:30 tonight, preserving the past for future generations. We've been reporting on the tragic fire that happened yesterday that caused so much damage to the historic Mulligan's Brick Bar in Buffalo's Allentown neighborhood. The goal moving forward is to try to keep at least part of the facade, in addition to creating a collection of mementos at the Buffalo History Museum. Gregory Delaney is a clinical associate professor in UB's Department of Agriculture, and he joins me now live. I know that you're not directly associated with this project, but we really appreciate you coming on to kind of give us some insight, because I have to be honest, when I heard that the goal here was to try to save part of this building, I looked at what remains. We also got some drone video earlier today, and it's hard to imagine, for those of us who don't know a lot about this, how you could save any of that building. How do you think this will work?
Yeah, so it's actually been done many times before in Buffalo and all over the world. What typically would happen is at least the front facade would be saved, which is remarkably intact given the devastation of the fire, as you see in the drone footage there. And you do that by stabilizing the facade, basically using steel to support to brace that front facade, and then you essentially build a contemporary, a new building behind that facade that then integrates that into the architecture of the new construction. I think ideally it would be that more of the shell is saved, but at least right now the push is to really preserve that main front facade so that this building can continue to have a lasting presence in Allentown and in the city of Buffalo.
You obviously don't want this long term to just become an empty hole, especially in a neighborhood like that. How does it work? Obviously, there are historic tax credits that are available for buildings like this. How would it work, you think, in getting someone to come in and invest the money needed to turn this into something while also keeping that facade?
Yeah, well, I think you brought up the most important point here, which is that preserving a portion of this building, as much of the shell and facade as possible, is what unlocks those historic tax credits, which are remarkably beneficial as an incentive to revitalizing this site and making sure it maintains its lasting presence in Allentown. That is really what makes all the difference, I'd say, and it has for so many properties across the city of Buffalo. It's really in a big way what has made renovation and restoration viable. And otherwise, you're right. The biggest concern here is that we could see this sit as a vacant lot. I think the greatest future for this to not see this as a vacant lot is to preserve as much as what's possible based on what's remaining.
There is also this effort to create a collection at the Buffalo History Museum. Can you just, in ending here, explain why history for architecture and old buildings like this is so important in your view?
Yeah, I mean, I think this, everything that's come out over the past weekend and today through social media and news programs like this just demonstrates how much value buildings have in our society, that contribute to our collective memory and attachment to place. Buildings just define so much of our meaning as we experience them on a daily basis, but also in the past and as we look to the future. And so those are such important aspects of what it means to be a place, a neighborhood, a city, a people. And so preserving that history, I think, is incredibly important. Of course, collecting fragments, pieces, salvaging elements of this building is really, I think, a last resort because what we want to do, hopefully, is preserve them in place. I think they have more meaning in place for people in this neighborhood and beyond. But if ultimately much of the building has to succumb to demolition, then I think that process of archiving and retaining and possibly even reincorporating elements of this building into others or into a new building on this site, those are always, I think, very inspiring examples of the power and the lasting power of buildings in our everyday lives.
We'll be following it closely and more to come as we hear from folks in the neighborhood at 6 tonight. UB Professor Gregory Delaney, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.